This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
It has almost been a year since Lakers superstar and NBA legend Kobe Bryant decided to announce his retirement from the league. Although we have once again lost a player who had a great impact on today's NBA, the Black Mamba's legacy still lives on. From his clutch game-winning shots to his outstanding scoring performances, Kobe Bryant has left behind many stories to tell to oncoming generations. However, all of this hasn't come without struggle. And no, I don't mean Kobe Bryant came from a poor family, but that he has overcome many battles in order to gain the nickname the Black Mamba. Unfortunately for him, some of these battles were lost, and along with them, the stories. Many people are not aware that Kobe Bryant was once almost knocked out during a game in his prime, but that's why I'm here. Today I tell you guys the story of the time Kobe Bryant was almost knocked out by Chris Childs. Welcome to NBA Insider. The date was April 2nd, 2000. Kobe Bryant was a good portion of the way into his fourth season in the NBA, seeing as he was drafted back in July 1st of 1996. His opponent, or should I say boxing friend, Chris Childs demonstrated success in minor leagues and proved to be worthy enough to enter the league afterwards. He was signed with the New Jersey Nets before the start of the 1994-1995 NBA season. He then went on to spend his first two seasons with the Nets and average a career-high 12.8 points in 1995 and 1996. However, Childs was perhaps best remembered for his 5-year stretch from 1996 to 2001 with the New York Knicks, who relied on his tight defense and three-point shooting ability during their runs to the NBA playoffs. It was during this time that Childs helped lead the New York Knicks to the NBA Eastern Conference Championship in 1999. He led the team in assists as a starter during the 1996-1997 season and was a valuable contributor off the bench during his next 4 years with the team. It was also during this time where he would be involved in one of the most memorable fights in NBA history, a fight that has since been hidden behind the greatness of Kobe Bryant's legendary career. On this night, the LA Lakers were matched up against the New York Knicks. With 43.4 seconds left in the third quarter and the Lakers up 71-60, Kobe Bryant and Chris Childs got into it. During this matchup, Chris Childs was guarding Kobe Bryant on defense. Throughout this battle, Bryant apparently said something to Childs that tempted the New York Knicks point guard to shove him. Because of this, Childs got fed up with Bryant's off-the-ball bullying. Throughout this intense matchup, Kobe decided to turn around and face Childs directly in a head-to-head fight. According to many replays from the game, just as Shaquille O'Neal was going for a jump shot and while Chris Childs was still defending him, Kobe Bryant decided to throw his forearms up away from the ball and near Childs' face. Kobe then stepped right up into Childs' face to show him he wasn't playing around. Big mistake. Little did Kobe know that Childs was also not playing around. Because Chris had already built a hate for the Mamba, he used this as an excuse to retaliate. Chris Childs immediately went into Bryant's face, head-butted him in the chin, and punched him with a right-left combination that connected with Bryant's neck and chest. Of course, the two-punch combo would get a reaction from the young legend. Bryant first tried to get a swing at Childs, but instead missed completely, hitting nothing but air. He then tried to grab at Childs with his bare hands to try and strangle him, but by this time it was too late. The incident had got so out of hand that Bryant needed to be restrained by two referees, teammates, and Lakers assistant coach Jim Clemens. And at one point, even Lakers head coach Phil Jackson was jogging onto the court to help prevent the brawl. However, even after they were separated, the two were still yelling at each other out of hate. Since Kobe Bryant was arguably one of the most vicious and ruthless players in NBA history, for his legacy to be disrespected like this, it made sense why he was so upset. Not only that, but Chris Childs stood only at 6'3" and weighing 195 pounds, while Kobe Bryant stood at 6'6", weighing 212 pounds. So it made it seem like Kobe was not only punched in the face by a lighter opponent, but a shorter one at that. Following the game, a pissed off Kobe told reporters, "The little punk decided to sneak me. It was physical play, a physical game, but I didn't expect him to throw punches. He was holding me a little bit. I didn't think he was going to throw a punch. I didn't think he had the balls to do it. He threw a sucker punch." Kobe's teammate at the time, Shaquille O'Neal, also spoke about the incident, protecting his teammate from the lies and the embarrassment of getting punched on TV while praising Kobe for walking away. He said, "You can't let a guy punch you in the face on national TV and just walk away. You can't do it. Can you do it? I can't do it. It takes a real big man to get hit in the face on NBC with everybody watching and just walk away. I'd like to meet him. I ain't that big yet. That's some Tai Chi stuff, not me. Everyone knows Kobe is a clean-cut kid. He was protecting himself." Shaquille O'Neal then went on to promise that there would be payback. April 2017 marks the 17th anniversary since the incident took place. Although Kobe immediately let his side of the story be known on the night of the situation, Chris Childs had only opened up about the memorable fight 2 years ago. Back in 2015, during an interview with Knicks Blog Radio, the former New York Knicks guard discussed the night he fought with Kobe. Childs had talked about what led to the punches being thrown and also discussed how he probably could have injured Kobe if he really wanted to. Although the incident had happened over a decade ago, Childs had clearly remembered the night he almost turned a young Kobe Bryant into a punching bag. So now we have a better understanding of what happened that night. Chris Childs, Childs, a Los Angeles native himself, said, "He was a young player at the time. He had to challenge someone. I happened to be that guy. A couple of times going around screens, I played tight defense. It's physical down there and he hit me with an elbow. I'm fine with that, but don't do it above the shoulders." Childs went on to say that he asked the officials if they were going to do anything about the situation. He claims that the ref put up his hands and said, "What do you want me to do?" So Childs decided to handle it himself. He said, "No problem, I'll take care of that. Young fella, do that again, there's going to be a problem." Kobe Bryant responded by saying, "What are you going to do?" Chris continued his version of the story saying, "We go around the pick and he hit me again. By that time, enough is enough. I'm back home. This young guy is trying me. I walk up to him. If you watch it, he hits me with a little shoulder. He's 6'6", I'm 6'3" at the time. I got to get him off of me. I give him a little head nudge. From that point on, it's game on. I took a few boxing lessons. I know how to defend myself. When I hit him, I didn't want to hurt him. I knew he was an up and coming guy. I remember back in the day watching Kermit Washington hit Rudy T. I didn't want to get that label of hurting a guy's career, so I just happened to tap him and let him know you're trying the wrong guy. I didn't want to knock him out because I could have, but if I did, I'd still be suspended right now." For those of you who don't know about the Kermit Washington incident, basically on December 9th, 1977, NBA player Kermit Washington punched and struck Rudy T during a mid-game fight. The punch was so deadly that Rudy collapsed to the floor, bounced his head on the hardwood, and was knocked unconscious. In the end, Rudy received a brain concussion, a fractured skull, jaw, and nose, and spinal fluid leaking into his brain. Rudy T managed to walk off the floor, but once he made it to the hospital, doctors told him that they had to operate on him immediately or he could die. The punch was so bad that it literally ended his career early. Anyhow, Chris Childs was comparing this incident to his fight with Kobe Bryant as a way of saying he did not want to do the same thing to him. So one of the most memorable NBA fights of all time could have been even worse. The Knicks would eventually lose the game 106-82. The crazy thing about it was that it was actually Knicks coach Jeff Van Gundy who recommended that Chris Childs should be suspended, but for good reason. This incident was just another show of immature behavior by the Knicks, who are known for getting into fights. As a matter of fact, this was the second time in that season that a New York Knicks player had been found to instigate a fight during a worldwide televised game, the last one happening on Christmas Day. In the end, Chris Childs and Kobe Bryant were both fined and suspended by the NBA. Childs was suspended without pay for 2 games, which was equivalent to over $100,000 of his $4.1 million salary. To top it off, he was also fined an additional $15,000. Bryant, on the other hand, was suspended without pay for just 1 game and fined $5,000. However, if this were in today's NBA, the two would have been facing much bigger penalties, but it's a different NBA now compared to then. Players nowadays will get ejected for flagrant fouls that were considered harmless back in Childs' era. Still, Chris Childs said the current NBA isn't tough enough, and I agree, but that's for another day. Although I have not included the actual video of the fight in this video, I will leave the full footage of the fight in the description box down below for any of you who would like to witness it yourselves. As always, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If I made any mistakes or missed anything that you felt should have been included, please let me know. Also, if you have any recommendations for future videos such as interesting stories or topics like this, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching NBA Insider.
This video is brought to you by capbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.